So pretend that whatever conflict that's been going on in your life has just disappeared, maybe at work, at home, maybe it's a relationship, and everything is looking peachy, everything is perfect, down to the every minute detail of it. And but then you start to worry, you start to have these irrational worries that creep in, and they are just completely illogical and unreasonable, but you still have them nonetheless. Why is that? Why is it that during the good times of our lives, whenever good things happen in our lives and we are at a stable period in our days, in our lives, why is it that we start to have these irrational worries? Well, it's because we are still running on caveman software, our brains, our tendency, our psychological tendency to look for threats in our lives. It's called threat detection, psychosomatic anxiety loop. And basically that threat detection is running in our minds subconsciously constantly to look for anything that needs attention, even the things that might not need attention. When everything's going well, everything's going peachy, that's when the system acts up, because there is nothing to worry about, right? There is nothing for the system to actually detect and narrow down, to pinpoint, to target. And so the system gets confused. It just goes like, what the heck am I supposed to be looking at? What the heck am I supposed to be focusing? Right? And that's why it just starts making up these things, because it always needs something. It always needs a target to run properly, right? And that's why we get these irrational worries. That's why we get these irrational, sensations and perceptions that we just over focus on, to hyper focus on. And it is by realizing that those things are just our minds acting up. Just those things are just our minds, our mind's targeting system malfunctioning, right? Because of the situation in our current state of our lives. It is by realizing that we can work to prevent it from happening, by going like, oh, okay, this is just the thing that my mind does. This is just the thing that my subconsciousness does. And I don't have to make a big deal about it. It will pass. Allowing it to exist in our own headspace. Allowing it to come in through the door of our mind and stay there for as long as it likes. You don't have to react to it. You don't have to resist it. But at the same time, we cannot chase after it. We cannot run after it and try to dig to the bottom of the pit.